Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. We're on to another video for pick up and pass up. The video where you guys sent me your hottest takes on what you guys are currently collecting, and I just give you guys my 2 cents on whether you should pick it up or pass up on it. So let's go over some of these comments. First up, we got ourselves Resh Zard, who says, "Hey Jake, been looking to get a Sightseer PSA 10 for a while now. Do you think it's worth the buy?" Wow, that is an expensive card. The Sightseer is a super rare card actually, from only appearing in a single set, which is the Tag Team GX All-Stars Japanese set. This card never came to English, and it is a very desirable for trainer card. I think this card in a PSA 10 is currently going for around $700 to $800, so it is a very expensive card, especially since it's not even that old. It's only 2 or 3 years old. I actually have 2 copies of this card inside of my collection. Picked them up raw from a Japanese collector for around $150 each, and I sent them off to PSA grade. They have not come back yet. Here's hoping one of them is a PSA 10. This one's gonna be a tricky one because it is a very expensive card. It's not even a known name trainer. It's just a random trainer that you can battle in the Alolan region, right? It's not even a special character, but the artwork is fantastic, drawn by one of my favorite Pokemon card artists. It is a really cool card. I'm struggling to recommend you picking up this card for $800. However, if you do enjoy this card and you have the expendable income, then I would say yes, it is a pickup. I don't see a scenario where this card comes to English. It's just way too late. This card was released years ago. They're probably never coming to English. So if you are a collector, a full art trainer collector, and you want this card, this would be a pickup. Next up, we got ourselves Jimmy, who asks, "A bit of a weird one, but I was thinking of buying around 70 Gold Star Greninjas because it's not much per card. I think they're going for around $2 right now. And just like the feeling, it will rise because of the hype in the return in Pokemon Journeys." So everyone always talks about the continuation of the hype, but the thing is, the Pokemon company is always creating new stuff, right? There's constantly new Pokemon games, Pokemon anime, Pokemon movies. So it's really hard for me to say what will be a hype moment, right? Because the hype moments are so hard to pick up. I don't think anyone expected Pokemon Go to be as popular as it was. So it's really hard for me to predict what will cause hype. I don't see Pokemon Journeys creating that much hype. But Greninja Gold Star, now that's an interesting one. Do I think you should pick up 70 copies of this card? Actually, no, I don't think you should pick it up. It's a nice card and you should get it for your collection because it's so gosh darn affordable, but I don't think you should be picking up 70 copies of this card. You're not really making a dent in the market. Let's be frank here. They made hundreds of thousands of copies of this card. It is not that rare of a card. Could it be rare down the line? Yes, it could be rare, but even at its absolute most rarest, there's still going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of this particular card. So if you want to, I would say pick up a couple of copies and enjoy them. Don't hoard 100 copies of this card. It's not going to be worth it, and down the line you're going to be probably kicking yourself because of how challenging it is to offload 100 copies of this card. I think 1 or 2 copies, you're just golden. Next up, we got ourselves Jake, who asks, "What are your thoughts on the amazing rare cards from Vivid Voltage? The graded copies are selling for a relatively low price and they are good looking cards." I love the amazing rare cards, and I think a lot of people do too. They are just a bunch of really gorgeous cards. I mean, these cards are fantastic. They are not that rare. They're not that rare. You can pick them up pretty quickly. If I remember Vivid Voltage, I would say from the pack opening, the cards just constantly came. The amazing rares just weren't that rare. There were plenty of copies inside of my collection. I pretty much complete the whole entire set from just a couple of Vivid Voltage pack opening. So what would I recommend you do with the amazing rares? I would say these are better to be picked up raw. There's no reason to pick these up graded right now unless you don't plan on grading them yourself, or you just don't want to take the risk because the ungraded copies are so plentiful right now. I just don't see a reason why I would cough up an extra, $40 or $50 to get myself the graded version when I can get the ungraded version for like a couple of dollars. You can get so many more ungraded copies, and your ungraded copies, if you pick up a couple of copies of them, you're likely to have a gem mint copy somewhere in that bundle, and very much likely you're saving yourself so much more money. So I would say this is a pickup for the ungraded copy and probably a pass on the graded copies unless you just don't want to deal with the hassle of grading Pokemon cards yourself and you have the extra money lying around. Wouldn't we wish for all that? Next up, we got ourselves Matthew, who asks, Evolution's booster box, given its high price, appreciation, but also high popularity, collectors, and high print run, do you think it's a good pickup at current prices, or it's worth it to wait it out? So Evolutions is such a weird set, right? It came out and it stayed at $100 for 4 straight years, and then Logan Paul happened and it went to $800, right? And it stayed at $800 still now. It stayed at $800 for 2 years. That's how collectibles work. Sometimes they flatline for years, they spike up, and then they just don't move at all. So many Pokemon card products have climbed up in value over the past 2 years, and XY Evolutions is not one of them. If you bought a couple booster boxes of XY Evolutions, that's great if you're displaying them, but in general, they're kind of dead weight right now because they're not moving at all in value, and I don't see them shifting in value anytime in the near future unless there's some kind of trigger event that really makes them climb. So that's part of the risk and reward. So as of right now, would I spend $800 to $1,000 to pick up an XY Evolutions booster box? Personally, I wouldn't. There's better stuff that I would prefer collecting right now with that amount of money. But if that's something you want to do, then pick it up. However, for me, it's an easy pass. All right, on to our next comment. We got ourselves Ditchy Smithy, who asked, I made a video about some cards I'm speculating on. The Trainer Gallery 29 and 30 Urshifu V Max. They are going for $5 to $4 right now. I like them because of the other 6 black and gold cards that didn't release yet. Is this a stretch? I'm returning to the hobby and mostly like Magic the Gathering, so I would like to hear from somebody who knows about the Pokemon collecting market. Of all of the black and gold cards, I would say the Urshifus are actually some of the ones that would probably appreciate the least. Unfortunately, the Urshifus are not super popular. I was hoping they'd be super popular because they're Kung Fu Pandas pretty much, and that's super cool, but they haven't really caught on in terms of popularity. Of all of the black and gold cards, the ones that I would say are the best ones to collect, unfortunately, are probably going to be the Pikachu VMAX and the Rayquaza VMAX. People just love the classics, and Pikachu and Rayquaza are by far going to be the most desirable and in demand. How popular will Urshifu be in 10-20 years? I can't say, but I just don't see that popularity really being there. I think all the other black and gold cards will eventually make their way to English, and honestly, it's just too early to collect the Urshifus. I think in a couple of months, they might even be cheaper than where they are right now because the Trainer Gallery cards aren't that rare. You pull 3 or 4 copies of inside of every single booster box, and it doesn't look like the black and gold cards are super hard pulls. So personally, I think for those, I would say, unfortunately, it's going to be a pass for me. Next up, we got ourselves Glenn Luca, who asks, I think Pikachu on the ball is super cheap right now. It was above $1,500 a few months ago. Do you think it is a good pickup at the moment? Oh my goodness, dude. I don't know if I would agree that it's a super cheap card. I mean, right now for a copy, they can go for as much as $600 right now. So personally, I wouldn't really say it's that cheap. I love the card, and I personally want a copy inside of my collection. I have all the other on the ball cards. So I'm just missing the Pikachu to complete the set. The Pikachu is by far the most rare of the whole entire set. However, there's a ton of risk with picking it up right now. So I would only recommend you pick up this card if you have the expendable income to really afford to pick it up, because this is a card that I think there could be boxes that are full of these cards inside of a warehouse somewhere. Some employee somewhere might have boxes of these just sitting there that they don't even know that they have. This is one of those risks with modern cards, especially promo cards and promotional cards. These were handed out to a lot of people. And while they are still rare, the Pokemon company could have shipments of thousands of copies of these cards just sitting somewhere that will eventually dilute the market. That might not happen, but the risk is there, and I don't think that risk should really be incurred for someone who isn't willing to take that risk, you know. So you really have to wait on yourself. If you have the expendable income to really spend $600, $800 on a copy of a modern Pikachu card that could eventually be way cheaper. I'm not saying it will be, but it could be. So it just comes down to how much risk you're willing to take. So for me right now, unfortunately, it's gonna be a pass. I might feel a little bit more confident later on that there are not additional copies just sitting somewhere, but for now, I'm willing to wait on it. Next up, we got ourselves Pikachu, who asks, Shining Legends Elite Trainer Box. I've been wanting to get it, but it's around $300, maybe more. I think the lowest I've seen is for $280. Also, what are your thoughts on the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer Box? Both the Shining Legends Elite Trainer Box and the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer Box are great. I don't think you should collect every single Elite Trainer box. I feel like we get a ton of comments asking about Elite Trainer boxes, so I know they are super popular collectibles. For me personally, there's just too many of them to collect all of them. If you're an Elite Trainer box collector, it's super cool to have 30 or 40 boxes of Elite Trainer boxes. They make a great display. However, for me personally, I only like collecting the Elite Trainer boxes from the special sets just because I just don't have the space to collect every single Elite Trainer box from every single set. So the Shining Legends one and the Hidden Fates one are some of the better pickups just because they're from the special sets. They're not really competing with booster boxes. The special sets don't have booster box, so the Elite Trainer box can be some of the more desirable collectibles on those special sets specifically. On to our next question. We got Mike, who says, hello Jake, it's been a while. I stopped buying because my wife delivered my daughter on March. Anyhow, I'm saving up for the Japanese base set of Celebrations. PSA 10, I want the serial numbers to be consecutive. Maybe I'll buy it on October for my birthday. My question is, on eBay at the moment, the complete PSA 10 set currently costs $1,000. Is it worth it to pick it up for that price? Will you buy it if it was you? So first off, congratulations on your daughter. Secondly, I don't think you should be picking up this set right now, especially not a PSA 10 graded collection of this set. Why is that? Because it is a brand new set and a lot of people haven't even begun grading these cards at PSA yet. Just because of how expensive PSA grading is right now, a lot of people are holding off on grading. So a lot of people have gem mint copies of this set inside of their collection just waiting to get graded. So I think the graded market for the Celebration set will significantly be diluted over the next couple of years. Not couple of months, couple of years. It's gonna take time for all of these cards and sets to really be graded. So unless you're really in dire need of collecting this whole entire set, I would wait off on it because I see this set being significantly more affordable over the next 2 to 3 years when the market is just flooded with a lot more additional copies of it. Now you want a complete consecutive set. That's significantly more hard. I can understand that. It's just more appealing to have the numbers match with each other. However, I don't think it's a big deal. I think if you are willing to buy singles and just piece together the complete PSA 10 set, you might be able to save yourself some additional money right there. Next question comes from Random Juan, who says, Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection at secondary market price, worth it or not? I feel like everyone's been talking about this one, the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. Now, for a lot of the Celebrations products, they're pretty much at MSRP. Not a lot of the Celebrations products have really gone up in value at all, except for the Ultra Premium Collection, which is by far the most desirable sealed products from Celebration. And I think that makes total sense. Most collectors aren't going to collect everything. There's just too many items to collect them all. However, when it comes to Celebrations, which is a great set by the way, the Ultra Premium Collection stands out at the top of the pyramid, at the top of the tree, at the top of the hill, whatever you want to call it. It's at the top, and that's what collectors want. They want whatever's the best, and the Ultra Premium Collection is the best. As a sealed product, I don't love it. It's not great on display. It's a terrible display product. However, it has a lot going for it. It's got the metal Charizard, it's got the metal Pikachu, it's got so many booster packs inside. It's a cool product, so I can understand that. I don't think the Ultra Premium Collection is going to be reprinted. The Pokemon Company don't usually really ever redistribute or add additional stocks for their Ultra Premium collectibles. However, Celebrations might be reprinted. Celebrations is a brand new set. I know it's no longer the 25th anniversary, but that's not going to stop the Pokemon Company from reprinting sets. Trust me, they might still reprint Celebrations again. So with that in mind, the Ultra Premium Collection is the least likely product from all the Celebrations product line to be reprinted. So long story short, should you pick up the Ultra Premium Collection right now, because it is still very expensive. They're going for around $300 US. I would say it's a pickup if you're looking for anything to add to your collection from Celebrations. The Ultra Premium Collection should be at the top of your list, even though it is very expensive. Final question, we have Nido King who says, I'm thinking about picking up a few boxes of VMAX Climax. Is it something that will be like CP6, worth a lot in the future? Now, CP6 is super unique. It's a great product. It's way better than VMAX Climax in a lot of different ways. But VMAX Climax is also better than CP6 in a lot of different ways. Is it a good idea to pick up VMAX Climax? Hard to say. I would say the trends would say yes, especially right now since VMAX Climax is pretty darn affordable. Sometimes you can even find these boxes at MSRP. It's a great set with a ton of really cool cards, and some of the cards from VMAX Climax have still not made it over to English. It would be significantly better as a set if those cards never made it to English, because then they become Japanese exclusive and the only way you can pick them up is through VMAX Climax. However, we don't know if the set is going to have Japanese exclusives yet. Pretty much every single card in VMAX Climax might be appearing in Astral Radiance. Half of the cards, especially the Trainer Gallery cards, have already appeared in Brilliant Stars. The other half might appear in Astral Radiance. If they're not in Astral Radiance, then I would say VMAX Climax is a significantly better option after that. So I would say it's a strong pickup after Astral Radiance. I would just have to see right now. As is, I would say it's still a decent pickup. It's an affordable set, and it does have a lot of potential value long term. All right, everybody, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like your question to be answered for sure, then be sure to sign up for my membership. It's super affordable and an easy way to support me. It's $2.99. So you're pretty much buying me a coffee every month, and I really appreciate it. That's the end of today's video. Let me know if you guys have any additional questions, because I always reply to my comments whenever I can, and I'll see you guys next time.